For this week's video, let's read the oldest and the newest books on my TBR. And I have my list ready, my notebook with my TBR, so we can look which are the oldest books on my TBR. You can see I've finished or on hold all the books that I've got in 2013. These are not all of the books, but these were the ones that I had on my TBR when I made the list. Then we got to 2014, so 10 years ago, and you can see there are two white ones, two books left. The first one is the third book in the SEAL Team 12 series by Marlis Melton, and here we have book 6 in the Guild Hunter series by Nalini Singh. These are the oldest books, and before that, you know what I need to do? I need to finish Archangel Storm, because this is the 5th book of the series, and I had this on my August TBR, and it is now on my September TBR. And now that we know which of the oldest books, we need to know what are the newest books on my TBR, and we need to get far into this notebook to see that we have Butcher and Blackbird. The one book I already got in September because it was on sale, on pre-sale for Germany, because there is now a German version of the book, and I got that as an ebook, so you can see here now. And I got Kingmaker's Year 1 by Sophie Lark. We have that here. It is a review copy, so thank you to the publisher for giving me Kingmakers, and I will read that too. So we have 2 dark romances, 2 romantic fantasies, and 1 romantic suspense book. A good mix, I think, for this video. And we can start directly with Archangel Storm, because I have finished it now. It was good. I love the story about Jason and Mahia. It is a typical romantic suspense story. We have a cool shadow daddy here with Jason, very quiet, tortured past. He can hide in the shadows. He has matte black wings, so nobody can see him if he flies through the night. Perfect for a master spy, because he is Raphael's master spy. Raphael is the archangel of the court in New York, or around New York, and Jason is now sent to Niha's court. Niha's court is around India, I think, and her husband was murdered, and Jason now needs to investigate in this murder, because he's the best in it. and at Jason and at Niha's court, he meets Mahia, the former daughter of Niha, but in real she is the daughter of Niha's husband and Niha's sister, because her husband betrayed her, and now she tortures Mahia for it and grieves about her husband's death. So Mahia is in danger now, and Jason wants to rescue her and wants to find the murderer of Nia's husband. And Mahia is dead. So that's the story of Archangel Storm, and it is thrilling, it is romantic. We don't really have love at first sight, which I appreciate. Yeah, there is a banter from the beginning, but they are not immediately kissing and there are not immediately spicy scenes. So bonus for that. Because a lot of older romantic fantasy books have that. As I said, I love the story and I can't wait to read book 6 now, which is now 10 years on my TBR. So it is time to read it. It is really, really time. I know we go back now to Raphael and Elena, the couple from the first 3 books, and we are back in New York and prepare for a big war that is inside, because there is a big event coming. More angels got more powers now. There are catastrophes in nature, angels falling from the sky, birds falling from the sky, a lot of mysterious accidents, and yeah, that is all part of the upcoming event that we are now preparing for. And this book is quite chunky. I already started it and read the first 30% at this point, so I will continue that over this week and will tell you more about it if I know more about it. And yesterday I also started Geheime Lügen, the 3rd book of the SEAL Team 12 series. The English title is Time to Run, and I was a bit surprised by the beginning of the book, not in a good way, because in the prologue a rabbit is murdered, a pet rabbit from a child, by the abusive husband or father of this child, and that was a point where I thought about DNFing already in the prologue, but I thought, nah, Sabrina, this is just a prologue, he is not the love interest, let's see about it. And surprisingly, I've read half of the book yesterday in the evening, so it is a good read. Yeah, it deals with abuse of a husband, not physical abuse, but mental abuse. And our female main character, Sarah, flees with her son from her husband and wants to start a new life, and the SEAL, Chase McCaffrey, helps her. The husband alarms the police and thinks his wife and his child are kidnapped, so the police are investigating that, and Chase has to deal with other crimes. So a lot of suspense plot here, but I love that the romance plot is really slow paced. I'm halfway through and we only had 1 kiss so far, and she said no to more, so that was refreshing. But we have another pet murdered. Chase dog got killed now, and I hate pet killing. So I don't know what I should think about that. I don't think the pet killing was necessary in both parts. Poor pets here, really. The poor pets. The dog and the rabbit. But I will continue today, tomorrow, I don't know. But I will tell you if I finished it. And I also already started Butcher and Blackbird and read the first 40% at this point, I think. I started last week and read a chapter here, a chapter there. And I got this book because two of my friends bought the book and we wanted to start a challenge. Who of us DNF'd the book first? Because we were all a bit scared by the trigger warning with accidental and not so accidental cannibalism and things like that. And at the same time we were all curious about the book because it is not only dark romance, it has rom-com vibes, and we were all curious how these both, dark romance and rom-com, can connect in one book. So we started the challenge and I was surprised by the first chapters that the book was really light from the storytelling, and yeah, the themes are heavy and dark because we deal with two serial killers that challenge each other, who will find the victim first and got the point in killing. And at the same time it is quite funny. It is a really weird mix here, but I'm very entertained by it so far, and the romance story is really cute, which is very surprising to me, and I will continue that this week. The only book for this vlog that I haven't started yet is Kingmakers, but I will start this after Butcher and Blackbird because I don't want to read two dark romances at the same time, even if they have totally different vibes. And I will tell you more if I have read some pages. So see you then. And I finished the first book of the video. It is Time to Run, the third book in the SEAL Team 12 series by Marlis Melton. I liked it. It was not overwhelming, not underwhelming. I hated that two pets were killed in this book, but it wasn't the reason for the things that are then happening in the book. For our female main character Sarah to decide that this is enough and she wants to leave her abusive husband with her kid. And a dog was killed in the story, and I think that was totally unnecessary because it wasn't helping the plot. But I liked the romance part of the story. It is slow burn and slow paced, which I really appreciate. And there wasn't much spice, just a bit, a little sprinkles. And yeah, I like how the relationship develops over time and that they start to trust each other. But the suspense plot was a little bit underwhelming for me. Not very present in the story. Especially the abusive husband that is searching for her is very unpresent in the story, just in a few chapters, and then for the grand finale. I think he could have had a little bit more screen time, and the other suspense plot about the skinheads and the racism group wasn't really necessary for me. I wish the book would have concentrated on the first suspense plot with the abusive husband and give that more time to develop and be more thrilling. But all in all, it was an okay book. And the next book I will read now, or continue now, is Butcher and Blackbird. And I will tell you more about it after I finished that. And I finished the next book on my list for this week. I finished Butcher and Blackbird. It was a very entertaining read, which I didn't expect it at the beginning. I especially loved the rom-com part. So the romance was very, very cute. And I loved that it's rivals to lovers. It made me smile and laugh and giggle and all the things I need for a good romance. So thumbs up for that. The dark part, the suspense part, the serial killer part was dark, disgusting. Not my vibe all in all, but it was good written, and both parts, the rom-com and dark romance parts, were really, really good, mixed, and made a good story. I loved Sloane and Rowan as characters. They are both a bit crazy, and that's besides the serial killer point. We don't have to talk about that. That is not normal. We all know that this is quite concerning, but I understood their motives as they were described as we learn about their backgrounds. I think we could have get a little bit more in detail about that, but at the same time that would have destroyed the comedy part of the story, because it would have been very dark and serious. And all in all, it was a good read, an entertaining read, and I really consider to read book 2 and 3 sometime in the future. Not right now, but in the future. But except the mix of genres, it was nothing quite new. As I said, except the mix of genres, that was new. But the romance part as itself was nothing new, and the serial killer part was nothing new, and that's totally okay, because I enjoyed reading it. And the next book I will continue now is Archangel's Legion, and I will update you on that hopefully tomorrow. Update time. I finished Archangel's Legion, the chunkiest book of the week, and I liked it. I now know why the title is Archangel's Legion, and that part is really interesting, and I can't wait to know more. I already told you about the whole cascade thing and the catastrophe that are going on in this book, and that the archangels are gaining new powers in this whole cascade thing, and especially one archangel is very, very power hungry, and we have a war in the end of this book where a lot of angels and vampires and humans die. I think it was thrilling, but I really, really hoped that this plot is now ending with this book, which it's not. The archangel is not dead, the villain archangel, and I really, really hoped that she is dead now, and we can move on, because she is the villain archangel from book 1 to book 6 now, and I really hoped we could have something new here now, but no. I loved the storyline. In the beginning I was not very intrigued by the story, and I thought, I have book 7 as an audiobook and I will listen to that and then I will DNF the series, because it is not my vibe anymore. Then I read more of that and listened to the audiobook at the same time and changed my mind, because I really got into the story while reading and really thought, I need to know more. I want to read more of this series, even after book 7, probably. But then in the end, as our villain archangel is still alive, I'm not sure if I really want to read more. So I will decide in the future, because, as I already said, I have book 7 as an audiobook and I will listen to that probably in October and decide then if I want to continue the series or not. We all know the series is a little bit older by now, and I'm not really vibing with it 100% of the time. But as I said, with this, there are some moments that I'm totally vibing with, so I'm a bit indecisive here, and we will see how my journey continues here. And with that, I have finished my 2014 TBR. This is very exciting for me, because I already finished my 2013 and 2023 TBR this year, and now I can add my 2014 TBR to this list. So we make progress here. Still a lot to go. My TBR is all in all over 300 books, so a lot of things to read. But after that, I grabbed the newest book from my TBR after Butcher and Blackbird, and that was Kingmakers Year 1 by Sophie Lark. As you can see, I already started it and read 300 from 500 pages, so around 60% in at this time, and I'm not overwhelmed. I don't like it so far. I expected dark romance with this book, because these are all mafia kids that are going to a special college to learn how to be how to fulfill her role in the mafia world. But I don't get any mafia vibes here. I miss the whole dark part, and I miss the romance part of dark romance, because the romance part is just really, really toxic behavior and really unhealthy, and there's nothing romantic so far. And as I said, 60% in, and I think the whole first 100 pages were totally unnecessary. We didn't need that. It was just a bit confusing because this is my first Sophie Lark book and the first in a series, but already the prologue cries that you need to read a series before that, because this is second generation of these mafia families, and there is a series about the first generation, but I haven't read that, and the book called me out on that. But all in all, so far as I read, I don't think that I need the first generation series for this to understand the whole plot, so just unnecessary confusing. And I don't need to see Leo play basketball at high school and Anna cheerleading at high school. I don't know why these scenes are in this book. They don't give me anything. And if I'm honest, I want to grab the author and shake her and want to give her a lesson for the first rule in writing: show, don't tell. Because I have the feeling the author, Sophie Lark, never heard of it. There is so much telling in the book that it really annoys me and it makes me angry. And it could be so much better if there would be more showing parts and we can live the story and not just get the story told by anyone. So I have a hard time with this, but I will continue today. It is now Sunday, and I will talk to you one last time after I finish the book. And with that, I finished the last book on my TBR for the week. Yay! Sadly, this was a whole disappointment and I didn't enjoy reading it. I would have DNF'd it if it wasn't a review copy. So that's why I finished it, but I didn't enjoy it, and I told you my reasons before. The characters are quite one-dimensional in this book. I didn't like the writing style. The plot was okay so far, but could have been better, because they are all going now to college, and it is a special mafia college, but you can easily replace the mafia college with a normal college, a magical college, with everything, and it wouldn't change a thing for the storyline or the characters, so that was a bit disappointing. And I am really sure that I don't want to read the next part of the Kingmaker series. That was it for me with Kingmakers and probably with Sophie Lark too. I don't know, the future will show it, but that means I have finished the 2 newest books on my TBR, so Kingmakers and Butcher and Blackbird. And I have finished the 2 oldest books on my TBR. So 4 books left on my TBR, which is quite exciting. And with that, you can tell me in the comments if you also want to start such a challenge. I think it was quite exciting to mix these both things, the oldest and the newest books. And if you want, you can like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!